Andre Rieu, known for his windswept curls, radiant smile, and unparalleled violin skills, has captured the hearts of millions worldwide. For over half a century, Rieu has revolutionized classical music, turning once formal waltzes and operas into street festivals, where audiences from all walks of life join together in joyous celebration. From the cobblestone streets of Maastricht to packed arenas in Melbourne, Tokyo, and Buenos Aires, Rieu has made classical music accessible, inviting people to get out of their seats and dance under the lights. With his iconic Johann Strauss Orchestra, adorned in elegant gowns and tuxedos, he has brought the grandeur of classical music to life in vibrant, unforgettable performances. However, behind the scenes, Rieu's journey has been filled with personal struggles, including illness, financial challenges, and a fractured marriage. Despite these obstacles, he continues to embody joy through his music. A childhood in music, the foundations of Andre Rieu's artistry. Born on October 1, 1949, in Maastricht, the Netherlands, Andre Rieu was immersed in music from the moment he entered the world. Growing up in a home where music was a constant presence, Rieu's father, a strict conductor of the Limburg Symphony Orchestra, instilled in him the discipline and rigor of classical music. His mother, who was behind the scenes ensuring stability, supported his musical journey, but warmth and affection were lacking in the household. Rieu's early years were defined by his relationship with music, which served as both his escape and his burden. Despite this emotionally cold environment, Rieu's love for the violin grew, though it came with a sense of fear. His desire for affection was unmet, and he learned to suppress his emotions, a trait that would shape his career and his quest to find a more joyful, expressive version of music. The struggle for validation, perfectionism, and rebellion. Rieu's early years in music were marked by the relentless pursuit of perfection. His time at the conservatory, particularly at the Conservatory of Liège and later Maastricht, was shaped by the same environment of discipline and structure that he had grown up with. He became a professional violinist, following a traditional career path and excelling in classical music. However, despite his skill and success, Rieu was never given the validation he sought as a child. Music, to him, became less about passion and more about earning approval. The formal, rigid performances in concert halls left him feeling unsatisfied. He longed for something more, a performance where music wasn't just an obligation, but a source of joy. The question that haunted him throughout his early career was, why don't they dance? To him, the waltz wasn't just a genre, it was a symbol of freedom and joy, something he could never fully embrace in the rigid world of classical music. Breaking free, the birth of Andre Rieu's dream. As Rieu continued his classical music career, he realized that the boundaries of the traditional concert hall could not contain his desire to bring music to life. In the 1980s, Rieu made a decision that would change the course of his career. He gathered musicians who shared his vision and formed the Johann Strauss Orchestra. Initially performing in small venues, Rieu's orchestra brought a unique energy to classical music by encouraging audiences to dance and celebrate. His performances, filled with humor and lively interaction, stood in stark contrast to the formal nature of traditional orchestras. Critics were quick to dismiss him, accusing him of commercializing classical music. But Rieu's ambition was never to destroy the art form. He wanted to breathe new life into it, infusing it with emotion and accessibility. His dream was simple: to make music a collective, joyful experience. A supportive partner, Marjorie's influence on Andre Rieu's success. Throughout his journey, Andre Rieu was not alone. His wife, Marjorie, played a crucial role in the development of his musical empire. While Rieu's family had never truly believed in his vision, Marjorie was the first person to see him for who he was. Not just a talented musician, but someone who had the potential to reshape the world of classical music. It was in their late-night conversations that the idea of outdoor concerts, where people could dance under the stars, began to take shape. Marjorie's unwavering belief in him and his dreams became the bedrock of Ryu's success. Together, they worked tirelessly, with Ryu performing to keep the finances afloat and Marjorie supporting the vision that would soon take the world by storm. Marjorie didn't just see his musical talent, she saw him as a person, a partner, and a dreamer. The phenomenon, André Rieu's global success. In the 1990s, André Rieu's persistence paid off. His orchestra, once criticized for being too commercial, became a global sensation. Rieu's performances, which had once been considered a novelty, turned into monumental events. The Johann Strauss Orchestra's concerts were no longer just about the music. They were about the shared experience of joy. Audiences stood up, danced, and sang along. His DVDs and albums sold millions worldwide, and his concerts became a cultural phenomenon. In Australia, 8 out of the top 10 best-selling DVDs were his, a feat rarely achieved by anyone outside the pop music world. From Vienna to Melbourne, people queued for hours just to see him perform. What had once been dismissed as outdated, the waltz, was now revitalized, and Rieu was its ambassador, becoming known as the King of the Waltz. His performances had the ability to unite thousands in a single, shared rhythm of joy. The business of music, André Rieu's financial gamble. Behind the music, however, was a reality few understood. Rieu was not just an artist, he was the CEO of a massive operation. Every concert was a financial gamble, costing millions in logistics, staging, and staffing. Unlike traditional symphony orchestras that received government funding, Rieu built everything from the ground up. His decisions no longer revolved around what piece of music to play, but rather, how to keep the entire operation running smoothly. Every performance required meticulous planning and significant financial investment. Rieu's ability to manage this complex machine while maintaining his artistic vision is a testament to his determination and resilience. The pressure was immense, but Rieu continued to forge ahead, undeterred by the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. A life of triumph and challenges, the castle and the struggles behind the smile. By the early 2000s, André Rieu's success had reached unprecedented levels. He had turned classical music into a global brand, with hundreds of millions in revenue, chart-topping albums, and a massive cultural influence. He purchased a small castle in Maastricht, which became both a symbol of his success and a reflection of his dreams. The castle, with its majestic backdrop, served as the perfect setting for his concerts, where the magic of the waltz and the splendor of his orchestra could come together in a way no one had imagined. However, beneath the surface of Rieu's success was the ever-present challenge of maintaining the delicate balance between art and business. While he had achieved his dream of bringing music to the masses, the journey had taken its toll. Behind the smile and the violin was a man who had faced illness, financial struggles, and personal challenges. Yet Rieu continues to play, to dream, and to make the world dance, proving that joy, even in its most difficult moments, is worth pursuing.